Hello YouTube. So this is the first video I've uploaded for years, and I thought I'd do a quick video just because I've got a latest gadget that you might have seen on has just launched. It's the new Mavic 2. In particular, I got the Mavic 2 Pro and the Fly More kit. And the Fly More kit comes with a car charger for your batteries. So I went out flying today and I used up some of my power, and I thought, well, that's alright, I can charge my batteries in my car while I'm at the work, and I can stick them in the cigarette lighter and charge up the batteries. I hit an issue. It's not really not the drone's fault at all, it's just this car charger. I don't know if anyone else does the same thing, but I plug it into the car. What will happen? This little green light will pop on, then the battery will indicate it starts charging, and then the light will go out and the battery light will go out, and that's it. And it gets stuck in this loop where it will do that every, say, 4 seconds. The battery starts charging and then it stops charging and then it starts charging again. Obviously that's not going to charge the batteries very efficiently or quickly, so I thought I'd bring it back to my workbench and find out what's going on. And I've read the small print on the back of here. If we have a look at this car charger, see if we can focus, probably not, but if you have one and you read the small print, the input voltage here actually says 14 volts, 6.5 amps. So 14 volts input, that's more than an average car battery, but only slightly. If you look at a 12 volt car battery and have a look at its actual voltage, they're not 12 volts, they're 13.8. So I guess that's why they've put the limit on their car charger at 14, just to make sure you don't plug it into a fully charged car battery and blow it up. But it's also a little bit sensitive when the voltage drops, and that seems to be the problem. So on my car, it's not a particularly modern car, but the voltage coming out of the cigarette lighter must be just enough at the beginning to make this think it's got enough voltage, and it kicks in, starts charging the battery. But then when it starts sucking actual significant amount of power, in the order of 6.5 amps, the voltage drops a bit. And it drops below a level where this thing thinks, uh-oh, there isn't enough voltage to actually run, so it'll shut down. And that's why it gets in this loop. So I thought, let's try it out. What I've got here is a fake car as such. I've got some cigarette lighters, plugged it up to a bench power supply. This can supply voltages. Let's use my ghetto lighting system here just so you can see these displays. This is the voltage, and this is the current being pulled out of the power supply to this. I've also got a second power lead plugged in here. This is purely to read the voltage a little more accurately. So this is hooked up to this multimeter so we can see the out voltage more accurately. So we can see at the moment 11.93 on the multimeter, 11.9 on the power supply. When we start drawing some significant current due to the losses in the cables, we might see this voltage stays stable, this one will actually drop, and that is what's happening in the car. There's quite a long cable between the car battery in the bonnet and the cigarette lighter in the cabin, so that's probably where the voltage is dropping. So let's see if we can replicate it and see how low your car battery can go before the DJI car charger will cut out. So if we stick the voltage up to, let's start the normal fully charged car battery, 13.8 volts. So yeah, good enough, 13.8 volts. Plug this in, see what happens. So we've got the light on the charger, light on the battery, and there we go, we're drawing 6 and a bit amps, 6.2 amps. That's quite a significant amount, really. I think possibly car cigarette lighters aren't really designed to deliver that much power. You know, they're designed for warming up a little element. Maybe that draws 10 watts or 20 watts, and this is drawing a lot more than that. So this is probably why these cars aren't quite geared up to deliver this much power. So let's drop this voltage down and see where it cuts out. So we've got 13.3 on the multimeter, 13.8 in our virtual battery. So that's where's the difference coming from? Well, it's from these wires. So let's drop this voltage down a bit gradually, and what we're looking for is this little green light to go out. That signifies this charger thinks I haven't got enough power anymore to charge the Mavic battery. So let's bring it right down to, say, just under 12 volts. We're still good, still drawing 6 amps. Let's go really slow now. So 11.5, there we go, 11.5 volt and gone. Okay, so this now thinks 11, oh there we go. Let's come back on. So this is the problem we're getting in the car. Drawing 6 amps, gone. You can see how much power is actually going in. Nothing significant. 4 amps, 6 amps, back to 0. So this loop is what was happening in my car. So we can see that this voltage drop from 12 volts here to 11.5 when it's under load is enough to make this charger cut out. So let's bump it back up slightly just to see. Where we can get it so it doesn't do this. So 11.9 on the multimeter, which is what it's actually getting. 11.9 volts, that seems stable. But remember, this is under load. So if you're going to check to see if this is going to be a problem in your car, and you hook up a multimeter to your cigarette lighter, I would first of all be very careful, because you don't want to short out your cigarette lighter with the probes and blow a fuse. But if your car battery is chucking out, say 13.8 volts or 12 point whatever volts, but your cigarette lighter is showing less voltage, then for starters you've got a problem. But if it's showing less voltage under load, that's when you'll hit this this looping issue. So what do we do about it? How do we fix it? Short answer is I don't know. Starting the car engine might give it a bit more of a boost, and then you get a bit more voltage. That might be enough to make this charger stay on continuously. But save that. There's probably not much that can be done. The amount of currents being drawn is too much for a cheap voltage booster, buck converter type thing. You'd have to get a pretty heavy duty one to make this work. Short answer is let's try hooking up just a straight old little lead acid battery. Yep, I just happen to have one here. Let's bang that there instead. So instead of powering it from the power supply, get rid of those, turn this down, make sure I don't zap anything, and it's a bit of a ghetto setup this. Okay, let's hook up a standard lead acid battery. So this is really a very miniature car battery. Plug that in there. Okay, so now we can see we've got power on our sockets. 12.8. So yeah, it's not quite 13.8, it's 12.8, but that appears to be not enough, unless this battery is fully charged. Nope, not quite. We've got 3 out of 4, so that should be charging. Got the green light, starts charging, voltage drops, green light goes out. So, long story short, you need a big car battery. This is not going to cut it, this sort of smaller size. You need a big car battery and some thick wiring to your car cigarette lighter, otherwise this is going to be an issue. If anyone wants to comment any ideas about how we can solve this, yeah, I'd be interested to know, because at the moment it's pretty useless to me, this car charger. Cheers guys, bye.